Welcome back to Investing Talk Podcast. Today, we're zeroing in on a retail giant, Costco Wholesale, as we explore what to expect from their upcoming earnings report. This is a crucial moment for many investors and consumers you know, and we're here to give you a comprehensive look at what's driving the conversation around Costco right now. Before we unpack all the fascinating details, a quick note for you, our listener. If you enjoy this analysis, please consider subscribing, liking, and leaving a comment. Your feedback really helps us reach more curious minds, and if you want us to look into a specific company, please drop a comment below. You can also support us by considering buying us a coffee, Heinz. Details are in the description. Now, let's get into it. Okay, let's unpack this upcoming Q4 2025 earnings report for Costco. It's coming up fast, September 25th, and there's quite a bit of buzz, especially around how they're handling things like, well, inflation and tariffs. We've gathered insights from several sources to give you the full picture. So what's the immediate rundown on the report itself?
Well, what's interesting here is that the official analyst consensus for Q4 2025 isn't fully detailed in the current reports just yet, but, we can extrapolate a great deal from their recent performance and market trends.
Okay, can you give us the specifics then? When is this report hitting and what are the broad expectations?
Absolutely. The report date is set for September 25, 2025, after market close. Generally, analysts are broadly expecting a similar high single-digit growth trajectory, echoing that 8% year-over-year sales increase we saw recently.
Right, 8% is pretty strong. And looking back at the previous quarter, Q3 2025, how did Costco perform against expectations then?
Yeah, for Q3 2025, Costco reported revenue of $63.21 billion. That actually beat estimates of $62.93 billion. And their diluted earnings per share, EPS, came in at $4.28. That was just ahead of the $4.24 consensus estimate.
So beat on both.
A slight beat, yeah. If we connect this to the bigger picture, Costco has this recent trend of consistently modest beats, usually by about $0 or $3 to $1.06 per share over the last 4 quarters. So for the upcoming Q4, based on this trajectory, EPS is expected to be somewhere in the $4.20 to $4 range.
That's a pretty consistent track record, isn't it? Almost reliably edging out the estimates. Do they offer any forward guidance for investors to chew on?
That raises an important point about their communication style. Costco doesn't typically provide detailed forward guidance. Their Q3 2025 report mentioned a net sales increase of 8.0% to $61.96 billion, which is good info, but no explicit forward EPS or revenue guidance was shared.
So investors have to read the tea leaves a bit more. Okay, so while the immediate numbers are important, what's behind this consistent performance, especially in, well, a challenging economic environment? Here's where it gets really interesting, I think. How is Costco managing to maintain its momentum and keep prices down for consumers, especially with ongoing inflation and that threat of tariffs? Our sources highlight some fascinating strategies from the CEO, Ron Vakris.
Right, and what's fascinating here is just the resilience of the whole warehouse retail sector. Value-seeking consumers have been supporting traffic amid inflation, and Costco's membership model, with its super high renewal rates, historically buffers volatility. But the company isn't just relying on its model, it's actively strategizing.
Okay, walk us through those strategies. I know rerouting goods was a big one mentioned in their Q3 earnings call late last May.
Exactly. Costco is remaining agile. One key strategy is rerouting goods sourced from countries with high tariff exposure. They might send those goods to its non-U.S. markets, like, say, Canada or Japan. This helps avoid higher costs overall, which in turn means they are less likely to have to raise prices for all shoppers you see.
That's clever, really using their global footprint. What else are they doing to mitigate tariff impacts?
Well, they've also been pre-stocking tariff-sensitive summer items ahead of schedule. By getting these products into warehouses before new tariffs take effect, they spare consumers from immediate price hikes on those goods. It's proactive. Furthermore, Costco's sheer size and streamlined inventory give it strong negotiating power with suppliers. This flexibility allows them to minimize the impact of tariffs and other price increases.
Makes sense. And what about their own brands, like Kirkland Signature? How does that play in?
Oh, that's a huge lever.
Yeah.
This raises an important point about control. With their Kirkland Signature brand, Costco has complete control over sourcing. They can strategically decide where to buy products or ingredients, opting to avoid countries with high tariffs. They're actually moving more Kirkland Signature product sourcing into the countries or regions where the items are sold. That has helped lower costs too.
Interesting. So what does this all mean compared to other big retailers? Are they handling it differently?
It seems so. While other major retailers like Walmart have indicated they would raise prices and Target has slashed its annual outlook, Costco has stated that raising prices would be a last resort. This really highlights their commitment to maintaining value for members through this kind of proactive supply chain management rather than just passing on costs.
Right, that member value proposition is key for them.
Yeah.
Okay, so given these proactive measures in the upcoming report, what should our listeners be keeping a close eye on? What are the key metrics that will really tell the story?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, the absolute key metrics to watch are comparable sales growth, especially when you exclude gasoline and foreign exchange impacts. That gives you the cleanest view of the core business health. And of course, any update on membership fee increases or renewal rates will also be critical. These are the lifeblood of their model, really. High margin revenue.
Got it. Comparable sales, ex-gas and FX, and anything membership related. Let's consider the potential scenarios then. What would a bullish outcome look like for Costco's Q4 report? What gets the market excited?
Okay, in a bullish case, we'd see EPS and revenue beat consensus, probably driven by strong comparable sales, continued international growth, and importantly, resilient margins. An announcement, or even a strong hint of a membership fee increase, would also be a significant positive catalyst, right? Expanding that high margin fee revenue. The market would likely reward this defensive, high-quality retail stock, especially amidst ongoing economic uncertainty.
Makes sense. And on the flip side, what about a more bearish scenario? What could cause concern?
A bearish outcome could involve an earnings miss, maybe due to margin contraction, weakening traffic, or perhaps inventory issues. If there's a slowing in comparable sales growth, or if it looks like they're unable to effectively pass along rising costs, that would concern investors. Also, any cautious forward commentary from the company could also spook investors, especially given Costco's current premium valuation.
Right, that valuation is definitely something people talk about. It implies high expectations. So what's your overall leaning for this report, weighing everything? Bullish, bearish, neutral?
My overall leaning is probably bullish to neutral, with a confidence score of maybe 7 out of 10. Look, Costco's history of execution, consistent revenue growth, and those robust membership renewal trends suggest a modest downside risk, barring some kind of broad macroeconomic shock. However, that elevated valuation does temper the potential for a massive upside surprise. A lot might already be priced in.
Okay, a conscious optimism, maybe. So for those considering their own strategies around this report, what might they keep in mind?
Well, given the premium valuation and the typical pre-earnings implied volatility, the market expecting some move risk-defined option strategies might suit some investors, things like collars or straddles perhaps to manage potential swings. For long-term investors, though, maybe opportunistically buying on any post-earnings dip could be a sensible approach. I mean, given the resilient business model and consistent historical outperformance.
Right, depends on your time frame and risk tolerance. Okay, we've covered a lot today. From the specific numbers for Costco's upcoming Q4 2025 earnings report on September 25th to their pretty impressive strategies for battling tariffs and inflation, like rerouting goods and really leveraging that Kirkland signature brand, we also highlighted the key metrics you should watch: comparable sales and any news on membership fees, along with those potential bullish and bearish outcomes.
Yeah, and what's fascinating here, I think, is how Costco's proactive and unique strategies provide such a tangible example. It shows how large retailers can navigate complex global economic challenges to keep delivering value.
So what does Costco's approach tell us about the future of retail, where value and membership loyalty are maybe becoming even more paramount, especially in challenging economic times? It certainly gives you something to consider as you watch their report unfold. Thank you for joining us for this analysis. Remember to subscribe, like, comment, and consider buying us a coffee if you found this valuable. We love hearing your thoughts and company suggestions in the comments below. Until next time, happy investing.